Hello. Coucou les amis.
Hello.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, oui. Bienvenue ici sur Virtuelle Magie. Je vais remonter un petit peu la caméra pour qu'on soit un peu sûr. Donc le son marche bien, je le coupe ici. Ici, le son est parfait, c'est nickel. Je suis ici avec Mark ELSON, non pas un Anglais, mais quelqu'un du Pays de Galles, je sais pas comment dire, un Gallois.
Le Pays de Galles, yeah,
from Wales. So, on va continuer l'interview en anglais. Je suis pas sûr de traduire cette fois-ci comme je l'avais fait pour Greg Wilson. Donc, je vais essayer. On va essayer de faire simple. So, hello Mark.
Hello.
Welcome to Paris. I think it's your first time here in Paris, huh?
Second time in Paris.
Second time. You're here in tour in France.
Yes.
Organized by Pascal Marc. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
You were in.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. It's the middle of your tour now,
Yep,
I think.
yep.
So we want to know more about you. How you begin magic and at what age? What is the beginning of magic for you?
So obviously I did some magic when I was a little boy, the same as everybody. Well, apart from girls, of course, they'd be little girls. But then I didn't really have much of an interest till I was about 19 years old.
Okay.
And then I was in a pub in South London.
Okay.
And saw some man at the bar doing some magic tricks.
What kind do you remember? What type of tricks?
Just some card tricks.
Card trick, okay.
But I was playing pool actually with some friends of mine.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with this guys or anything. And he was getting some attention and people said, oh, buy him a drink, buy him a drink. Come on, get him another one. So I thought, free drinks. So I thought, I'll learn some magic tricks. And I remembered I knew some tricks when I was a kid and I thought, I remember I liked it. Maybe I'll learn some more tricks. So I got a book from the library when I was living in London.
Yeah.
And that was it. Within 2 years, I was a professional magician.
In 2 years?
Yep.
Wow. You work. What is this first book? Do you remember?
Yes, it was the Encyclopedia of Card Magic by Walter B. Gibson. It's a big, thick book.
I don't know this. What, Walter?
Walter B. Gibson.
B. Gibson.
Walter
Okay.
Gibson's a famous writer.
Okay. And so you walk a lot, mostly in card, or do you walk coin or stage?
So I used to do only close-up magic.
Okay.
So card magic, coin magic. In fact, the first time I went to America many years ago, I went with Guy Hollingworth.
Yeah.
Him and I went together on a road trip.
Okay. He
And
was
so,
famous at this time, or?
He was.
Or is it London?
No, this was before he was a bit underground.
Okay.
So the Reformation was still just kind of word of mouth, so a long time ago. And he was doing all card magic and I was doing coin magic. So I was known as the coin guy then.
Oh, yeah.
So, but then for many years I just did close-up magic. And you can hear my sore throat, right? I don't normally sound this sexy, but just today with my sore throat. And the fact I'm sat next to this man here, he's lovely. So we're getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
So for many years I did close-up, and then when I lived in Hong Kong I was a magic bartender, so I used to work behind the bar doing magic. And then maybe around 20 years ago, 1998, 99, so 20 years ago,
Okay.
I got interested more in mentalism. My friend in England, Paul Hallis.
Paul Alice?
Yeah, not Paul Harris, Paul Hallis. He lives in America now.
Yeah. With an H at the beginning?
Hallallas.
Okay.
He's a brilliant mentalist.
Paul Alice, okay.
And so he got me into mentalism a lot.
Okay.
So I was learning.
And before you were not interested?
I kind of was interested, but I didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
And so this would be a few years before Darren Brown was on TV.
Okay.
So mentalism was very low key in the UK.
Yeah.
Same everywhere, very low key everywhere.
Yeah.
So and then so now I do a mixture. I do magic, mentalism, whatever.
And what are your source of to learn mentalism? Did you work on books, on the type of magician you love, or you try to?
So always books.
Always books. Yeah.
Always books. Yeah. So my favourite thing is books. So I have a big library.
Yeah. How many books do you have?
Oh, maybe 12,000 or 13,000 or something. A lot of books.
12,000 livres. Hein,
yeah, a lot of books. So.
Yeah.
A lot of books. So, and they're not all on magic and mentalism. Some of them are on history, politics, geography, but most of them are on things to do with magic and mentalism. So, and maybe in that I'm including lecture notes as well as books and booklets, but a lot many walls of books. But the thing is that I think it's also good to have someone to look up to, who you can trust to give you good advice. And so there are so many books now, and so many downloads every week, every day, more material. So you need someone you trust who can say, you should look at this, you should read this. Someone who already has knowledge.
And you are this guy?
Well, I'm a little bit of that guy, but I view myself as a student primarily. Yeah. So I mean, tonight I know I do the lecture here for you, and I'm on this lecture tour. So for this little period, that I could be considered the teacher of in these lectures, but really, I'm just a student who is further along in the journey. Nice point of view. Yeah, that's how I view it. I'm still learning all the time, and so I look at David Williamson, and I look at Tamariz, and I look at Gary Kurtz. Although he's not around anymore, he is my favourite magician.
Yeah, you like him? Okay.
Oh yeah, he's my favourite by a long way. And then I look at my friends, Ben Hart, Colin McLeod, and I learn from them all the time, trying to make things better, more impact, more connection, more mystery. Nice.
So right now you working, you do some lecture for magician, but when you are in town, what is your main job? Do you still do close-up, or you told me earlier that you are a consultant in magic and author? You write some piece for television. Could you talk about that?
Sure. So I spend quite a bit of my time. So I still do gigs, yes. So I do close-up gigs, and I've got some clients I've worked for 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, and they will use me a few times a year for private parties or some launch party for the record industry. With a new album for a band, they will say, "Oh, come and do the launch," or something like this. But and I like private house parties as well. I like going to someone's house as an invited guest to go and perform magic. So I really enjoy that. But a lot of my time is spent creating magic for other people. I don't mean to sell or to lecture, but to work on shows with people, whether it's a 1-hour stage show for Edinburgh or for some other purpose, or whether it's for TV.
Yeah.
So so I've written quite a bit of TV.
Yeah. What did you do for TV?
So most recently, I've been working on a project for the BBC in England. Okay. So I can't say much about it because I signed an NDA, etc. Okay, but I think it's very likely that it will work out, and so it will.
For sure. Yeah. I saw some image.
Yeah, I think it seems like it's a good project. So and then I've written with Ben Earl, Ben Hart. Colin McLeod. Yeah. Recently, I've been working with Dynamo, and I worked with Dynamo in the past. I was in this summer. I was with Keith Barry in Ireland. Do you know Keith Barry, mentalist guy? If you saw him, you would go, "Oh, I know him." Yeah. He's been on TV in America and in the UK. So, but whether it's so TV is a little bit of a course, but more usually working on material for live shows. So Ben,
for the magician, you write some piece or creation magic. Huh?
Yeah. So someone will come to me and say, "I want a full show, 1 hour. What do you have?" I have nothing. So I will help them build a show from the basement right up to the roof, the whole thing. But other times, like I'll work with Ben Hart, for example, and he will say, "I have my new idea for a show. I've got these ideas." So I will just help. I will just work with him and add some things, and very collaborative. I like collaboration. It's what I like. Yeah.
I have a few questions here. First, Stefan P., thank you for all your questions. What is your method of creation? First question, interesting question. Thank you, Stefan.
So I don't think I have one method of creation, but if I had a piece of advice about creating magic, it would be to keep a notebook.
Okay, like Gaëtan says that, write a lot of things.
Write everything. Yeah. If you see a cartoon and you like it, write it down. If you see a puzzle.
Yeah. James Steinmeier says this thing 2 weeks ago at the French convention. Right. And after you open the book, years after, it's okay. Oh yeah, nice idea.
So very rarely will you create something completely brand new. It doesn't happen much. Whereas it's easier if you have a lot of knowledge to make connections. So this connects to this. And then you can pull this bit from here, and then this bit over here, and together they form something new. So I think that my favourite way of method of creation, I think then, is to make connections between things that don't seem to link together, and to find a way to make them link together.
Okay. Other interesting question. What are your main goals when you're doing magic?
I really want to mess with someone's head. That's my only goal. I want them to walk away thinking, what the happened there.
Yeah.
I just want them to not know. They leave and they think, I can't comprehend how. I want that. I want that feeling where they're just completely astonished.
Yeah, nice. It's interesting. Another question from Achille. What do you think about Chimling, the winner of the American Got Talent?
I think he's great. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And having worked in TV a little bit and seen what goes on behind the scenes with BGT and AGT and all of this, sometimes, I don't know how it is in France, but certainly in the UK and in America, people get far in the show and that really they're not great magicians. It's just because they had a good story or the team behind them works well,
or good luck,
or something. But finally, you know, Shin Lim has won AGT and he is good enough to win AGT.
Yeah, of course.
I think if he was judged by magicians, he could have won AGT, you know.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So, but normally that's not the case. Normally, the person who does well, you go, really?
Yeah.
You know, but this time you go, yes.
Yeah.
If someone said to me, pick someone in 2018 to represent cool, cutting-edge magic, you go, let's use Shin Lim, he's brilliant. Yeah. So I think it's great he won.
Okay. Another question from Stefan. In your opinion, what is the most important thing in magic trick?
I think there's two things.
Yeah.
I think the effect must always be completely fooling. It must fool them.
Okay, fooling.
So effects that are interesting or quirky or whatever have their place, but so that the effect must be completely astonishing, and it must make a connection. It must be about something to do with you. So there is so much magic now released. Some of it is brilliant. Every day, every week, new tricks. We have an abundance of riches in magic. So much great material, but I never pick material just because it's brilliant. I pick it because it says something about my beliefs or my interests. So it communicates something about me.
Yeah. Okay. Another question from Stefan. Any piece of advice when practicing magic?
Yes. Don't give up. Don't think I've got it. And don't think that practicing is about being on your own. Practicing. So there's practicing and there is rehearsing. So practicing is techniques, it's the sleights. It's for a singer, practicing is running through the scales and singing the notes and then singing the song. But rehearsals is when they play with a band.
Okay.
So as well as practicing in front of the mirror or on video, you also need to do rehearsals. So, and that would be going to do some performances unpaid.
Yeah.
Just to see because magic's a performing art, it needs interaction with an audience.
Yeah, it's a live show. So.
Yeah, so how does this thing work when it's not just me at home, but it's me with some people?
Okay. Another Stefan question. What are the most powerful magic effects to perform in the layman point of view?
I think that's such a big question. I think you could show someone a trick and they could be absolutely stunned. But you could show someone else the same trick and they would be like, because some people think visually, some people are more impressed by brilliant, incredible visual card magic or coin magic. Other people are way more impressed by mentalism. Yeah. So I think that's why it's important to kind of listen to the audience and kind of figure out what it is they're interested in.
In general, when you do magic, you see people react more to mentalism, and when you do mentalism, you see people react more in hypnosis.
Yeah.
You seem to say that you can fool more people with a coin magic than in mentalism. Did you?
I'm not sure about that. I think it just depends on the person. Okay. And of course it depends. So some.
Do you do hypnosis?
I can do hypnosis, yes. But what the thing is, even hypnotists don't know what hypnosis is. It's such an open subject. My friend in Britain, Anthony Jacquin, he has
a book translated by Ludo.
He is brilliant. He is as good as I've seen, and him and his father have been working on some stuff, and basically they believe there is no such thing as hypnosis. There is, the brain is in the same state as when you're awake. Yeah. And yet we know it's not just all social compliance. It's different. But I think maybe you know, some, and it depends on the performer as well. Obviously, if you're a kid who's 18 or 17 or 15, and you're trying to be the master mentalist for someone who's 50, they're going to not want that. They don't want that. But if you do some cool sleight of hand stuff, edgy, kind of, they will enjoy it. But maybe for a guy who's someone who's 50, to see someone else who's 50, older in life with a bit more experience, maybe for them to do mentalism, they feel there is a connection. So it's very much down to the performer, I think, as well as the audience.
Okay. I have Owen C from Poitiers. He says it's American from Poitiers.
Yep.
He says Lamplight, one of your creation, is a masterpiece of magic trick. It's honestly the best structure and construct routine I ever read about. Wow. He seems to like it.
He knows what
he's your brother?
He knows what he's talking about.
Is your from your family?
I'm just emailing that on my phone here. I'm Owen C.
Yeah. Ah, you're Owen C. Yeah.
Thank you, Owen.
Et Achille, par rapport à ta question, bah, c'est facile, tu regarderas la vidéo, tu la remettras puisqu'elle sera publiée. Il ne va pas répéter la chose. Tu peux peut-être même retourner en arrière. Because Achille asked to repeat one of the questions. He leaves during your answer. So.
Okay.
I propose you show us a quick trick.
Sure.
I will go in the camera and.
So this is my favorite little visual trick.
Zoom and I'll tell you when it's okay.
So this is invented by two friends of mine.
Okay.
From England.
Yeah.
Called Gary Jones and Mark Bendel. And it's great. And so I've been having a lot of fun doing this while I've been in France. So it uses 2 coins in a small plastic bag. Can you see them?
Yeah, perfect. I'm zoom very here, you see?
So yeah, I can see it. Okay, yeah, cool.
Okay.
So it's a €2.
Yeah.
And a 5 cent.
Okay.
So, and they're just in this little bag.
Okay.
So here's the question. Choose one for you. Do you want the 5 cent or do you want the €2?
The 5 cents.
You want the 5 cent?
Yeah.
Well, you can keep the 5 cent. But in that case, I must keep the €2 for myself. Watch. And it visibly, this is just €2. It visibly comes out of the bag, and you can immediately examine. Boom.
Nice. What's the name of the trick?
It's called Bag for Life.
Bag for Life.
Bag for Life by Gary and Mark. So just because of the setup that we've got here for this conversation, I thought it would be weird to suddenly do some dealing thing or some card trick. Or
Yeah. So.
And this has been in my pocket my whole trip.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, you must have to sell this a lot.
I don't sell it. No.
Yeah.
I don't sell it. Well, it's Gary and Mark's trick. It's their trick to sell.
Yeah.
Money, so.
Et donc ça, c'était un tour de Gary Mark qui ne sera pas dans la conférence. About that, what kind of trick will you show tonight at the lecture in my place?
So the first section is on equivoque.
Equivoque, okay.
So I've got a couple of tricks of that. And then I've got a really cool card trick, which anyone can do.
Okay.
So I'm very flexible with my performance. So magic and mentalism, I think they are very interchangeable. I know some mentalists say you shouldn't mix magic with you should mix magic with mentalism. They are separate things.
Okay.
But they're only separate things in the mind of mentalists. To laymen, it's all the same thing. If they're entertained and astonished or amazed, job done. So, and we sit and we go, oh, that's a magic trick. This is a mentalism trick. This in the middle is mental magic, whatever that is. But these are just definitions that magicians have invented. No laymen think this. No. They think it's all just magic.
Of course.
Yes. Even Darren, they think he's using psychology and...
Darren Brun.
Yeah, magic of the mind. It's just... So some is magic with sleight of hand, some is magic with the mind. It's, but no one thinks anyone is supernatural. No one thinks Darren is one of the X-Men. You know, it's
maybe someone. You know,
well,
this person, so incredible.
This person needs some help. So
you know, I was two days ago in a party, and when I say I'm a magician, it is the second time in 1 week people said to me, a magician, a real magician. The second time people say, and I say, what is a real magician? And say, you know, real magician. So, you know.
Yeah, it's weird.
And it's not stupid people,
No,
they
no.
are educated people, and
I don't think they even know what they mean themselves.
yeah, of course.
I think they want to say, they want to believe it's not just some silly party trick. So, and that's all about the connection again. It's all about connecting with people.
Coucou Patrick, j'ai vu ton commentaire. I respond to one of
okay.
VIP. Ça fait une demi-heure, donc ça va être pas mal. Est-ce que vous avez des questions? Do you have any question, more question for Mark before we cut? En attendant que vous répondiez, je vous rappelle que je reçois le 30 novembre, ici même, en conférence privée, le champion du monde de cartes Bill Chung. Et le samedi 8 décembre, nous fêtons les 20 ans de VM au WIP, qui est un très beau bâtiment qui est juste à côté de la Cité des Sciences. Il y aura 10 événements en une journée avec Roman Garcia, il y aura encore une fois Bill Chung, il y aura le champion de France qui sera là, Guilhem Julia, il y aura Thierry Collet, il y aura Arthur Chavaudray qui fera du close-up et après on fera une conférence aussi. Enfin 10 événements, il y aura du lourd. Il reste encore quelques places, donc inscrivez-vous, allez sur Virtual Magie dans la partie boutique événements VM, vous avez toutes les informations pour venir. Et ce soir, si vous êtes encore là, ça commence à 20h30, mais on fait toute une petite soirée, on commence à 19h. Donc si vous voulez m'appeler, vous trouvez mon numéro ou m'envoyez un email sur thomas@virtualmagie.com si vous êtes là ce soir. No more questions, so I think we will end this interview.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup et à très vite à Paris. On va couper. Bon, ciao.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.